So I'm here with Svalbard. Thank you for the interview. You played today at the Hellfest. Can you tell me your feelings about it?
Fantastic.
This has been one of the best days of my life. It's been absolutely incredible. What a show, amazing atmosphere, like the crowd here at Hellfest. It just feels different. It kind of feels so passionate and like everyone's really interested in the music and behind you and supporting you. There were a few times on stage where I was moved to tears today, so it's been an absolute honour to be here. And then we came yesterday just so we could see a few more bands as well. So we've been watching loads of bands. I just saw Beast in Black, awesome. So many great bands. It's an honour to be part of it, really.
Which band are you going to watch today?
Powerwolf. I love Powerwolf.
Yeah, it's a very good band.
I was excited about watching Botch yesterday, who were fantastic. And today, I think I saw Iron Maiden about 20 years ago. So I'm going to go back in again.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to, haven't you? So.
Oh, within Temptation and Arch Enemy as well.
Very
Lots
good bands
of good
too.
bands today.
I saw Watching Me 4 days ago before the fest, and it was an awesome show.
They're so good live.
Yeah. Your last album, When I Die, Will I Get Better, was released in 2020. What was the feedbacks about it, and how was the tour?
It's really interesting releasing an album during a lockdown because you can't immediately go out and play shows. But the feedback we had from that album was crazy. I don't think we expected to reach as many people as it did. I don't think we expected like the depth of the meaning of the lyrics to communicate with people quite as hard as it did. So it was a real turning point for us releasing that album. And yeah, it's been so nice to finally be able to play those songs live a few years later.
Yeah, I mean, I think how long did we have between releasing it and actually playing? It was probably like a year.
A year and a half.
Yeah.
Because the first show back was Blood.
Yeah. So we had a year and a half we released it because it was already scheduled to be released. We had some label issues at the same time as well, and then COVID and everything. So then when we came back and we were playing, our first show back after not playing for 2 years was Bloodstock Festival in the UK. It was crazy, and then we went on a tour, and it was like every night was really, really busy. So it was fantastic. Really, really overdid our expectations. Yeah, really happy.
Are you currently working on new stuff?
We have been in the studio working on new material. We played a new song live for the first time today at Hellfest.
Oh.
So that was the first time anyone got to hear it, and that was crazy to play it live and a really great reaction as well. So there's a lot to look forward to with Svalbard coming very soon.
Oh, with a video clip?
Yes.
Good. What is the signification of the band name? Is the name of the island Svalbard?
Yeah, so it's a couple of different things. When we formed the band, we were both reading a trilogy of books by Philip Pullman called His Dark Materials, and one of the settings in the book is called Svalbard. And I remember one day we were all just sort of messaging, trying to come up with a band name, because we were jamming for ages before we had a name, because it's really hard to come up with a band name. And I think one of us just messaged, how about Svalbard? We Googled it to see if it was taken, and it wasn't at the time. So we went with that, but at the same time I also sponsor some polar bears in Svalbard, the country. The archipelago. So yeah, there's lots of different meanings, but also I think musically, like, we do have that kind of vast, big, icy kind of beauty to our sound. So I think the place encapsulates our sound quite well. Not that I've been. Okay. In my head it does.
What is your own vision of your evolution in the music sphere?
I feel like we've always been a band who've had lots of different influences from lots of different genres, and And maybe at the start of our career, we were finding our way of how to blend all those different influences and find like what makes us unique. I feel like with each album, we've got closer and closer to finding that mix that makes us us, and also lyrically, like we're not afraid to cut really deep. We're not afraid to talk about, the real reality of mental illness. And so I think in that respect, lyrically, we've sort of become, what's the right word? I don't want to say ambassadors, but we raise the flag for discussion of mental health and mental illness, which is very important as well lyrically.
In your music, you mix melody with anger. What is your creativity process?
We all sit in a room and argue with each other.
Yeah.
What is in the process of writing? Yeah, I mean, I feel like nothing's ever forced with our writing. It's never like we're going to write a Svalbard song, this has to sound this way. It's always very organic, and like either me or Serena will bring a riff into the room, or we'll have something like a bit more fleshed out, and then we take it in and it changes and kind of morphs, and you just kind of almost like remove yourself a little bit from the process, so you kind of just let it find its own way, and then eventually we end up with something and we're all happy, and it's just like a kind of unanimous decision, isn't it, where it's kind of finished, I think.
I think like the best way to describe it is synergy, where we don't sit on our laptops recording music and emailing it to each other. We are all in the room together for every single note of music that we write, and that creates that synergy where we bounce off of each other and everything is sort of done in that moment. So it's very kind of,
human.
Yeah, like a sort of a capturing of that moment. We're very sort of diplomatic with it. Everyone has to like an idea before we use it. And we argue a lot. But because we've been in a band for 11 years, we're really good at arguing now. So,
who made the artwork of your latest single, Eternal Spirit, and what is it about?
That was an amazing artist called Hester Aspland. Her Instagram is Hester Aspland Illustration. She is an amazing artist, and the way we discovered her is there's a metal bar in Bristol called the Griffin, and she'd actually done some artwork which was etched into a table in this metal bar, and we saw it and thought, oh, this is incredible, and got in contact. And I think with the artwork for Eternal Spirits, we kind of wanted to symbolize like the mournful aspect of the song being about metal musicians who've passed away, but then also capture that kind of defiance in the way that the spirit lives on in the music, and that's what the ram sort of represents to us with the flowers as well, of, things growing even from death.
What is your current vision of the Bristol metal scene?
I mean, Bristol is well known for trip hop, mainly, like Massive Attack and Portishead and those sorts of bands. One metal band who broke out of Bristol was Onslaught, who did very well. And then you got Punk Chaos UK. Sorry?
One Dice.
Can't forget your One Dice. If you haven't heard Laugh, Cry, Lose, check it out. But yeah, at the moment there's like they're not strictly from Bristol, but Harriet, two members live in Bristol. I think it might just be Jake. There's a Bristol affiliation with the band Harriet, and they're playing a lot of festivals, doing really well. We played with them on our first tour back. We took them out, and really great band, lovely people.
I think there's a lot of good thrash in Bristol. A lot of good underground thrash and a lot of death metal. The Griffin, as I mentioned before, the metal bar is a great place to go and check out underground up-and-coming bands. You also have a metal exclusive record shop called Black City Records, where it's just an amazing shop full of all kinds of metal records, and it looks super cool. Inside it's all black and amazing. I mean, I've lived in London for a few years, so I can't say that I am, and Liam has as well, so we're not that connected anymore with the metal scene in Bristol, but I think, it exists, which is a good thing.
Have you ever planned to release a live album on visual support like DVD or just vinyl or CD?
I personally don't see us releasing a live album anytime soon, because for me there's such a huge difference between recording and like layering up guitars and layering up the vocals and what we deliver live, and what we deliver live is a lot more aggressive, but we're not perfect. We don't play to a backing track, we don't play to a click track, there's no auto-tune on my vocals, and I worry that perhaps under the microscope of recording it wouldn't be the best thing to listen to. I don't know, what do you think?
I mean, I've never heard a recording of us live which hasn't had a mistake in it, so guarantee there's every song we play, there'll be 99% of it is perfect, and then there'll be like one fluff which makes it unusable, so that's why we've never recorded anything live. So
the band grows so fast. How do you manage the success and the hype for Svalbard?
It's simultaneously really exciting and also quite scary. Like there's a lot, you suddenly having fans and people interested in the band, you can internalize that and put a lot of pressure on yourself. So you go, oh, people liked our last album, I really hope they like the next one, and then you can worry and overthink it. I think it's really easy to overthink the creative process, but at the same time it's really exciting because we get to be here playing at Hellfest. We get to see, bands who we've loved for years and years and be on the same festival as them. We get to release an album on Nuclear Blast. Like, all of my favourite records, the spine says Nuclear Blast on them. So, like, to think that we're part of that is crazy. Like, but it is, it's also like, I guess it's a growing pains thing. We're just sort of learning how to manage our time between this and day jobs and everything.
I mean, we both work, like, I work 50 hours a week in my normal job, and then I have to find time on top of that to have a relationship, my family, Excel sheets, all the great stuff that comes with being a band. Same with you as well. You work silly hours, and then we have to try and fit this stuff in around, because we can't pay for ourselves to live off this, because it's music. It's a passion, But
you'd be amazed the amount of spreadsheets is involved in being in a band.
So thank you for the interview. Do you have any last words for our listeners?
Oh, just thank you very much for showing any interest in us. We're going to be releasing some new music soon, so if you want to check that out, that would be great. And have a good time.
Hey, you guys, have a great time, yeah?
Thank you.